Video in. Now it's no signal. So I don't know what just happened. County. Just blue screen.
Oh, because you just started the PowerPoint.
Well, I did.
No, it's not started. It's open, but you need to
open,
start it.
but you have to start it.
Just start it.
Okay. Okay, so I did it.
Yeah, you did. You did it right. So it shows up like that, and then they start the presentation, and then it shows up. But you do bench video in. You might have been hitting exec session.
No, I hit benefit.
You
Okay,
did?
so hold on a minute.
Perfect, all right, good to know. Thank you so much.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Okay.
Board
Wait.
of Commissioners, motion to suspend the May 2nd, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
I'll second. Roll call.
Mike?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna recess this morning into the Portage County Board of Commissioners, or recess from our meeting to go into a public hearing for regional planning. All right, Lisa.
Okay, the purpose of the hearing is to seek citizen input and discussion on an amendment we are doing to the 2022 CDBG allocation grant. What we are proposing to do is move $7,055 from the Ravenna Volunteer Park Street Improvements Project to create a new activity under the grant to allow for us to be able to put in ADA parking area over at the ball fields where we are doing the street improvements. So in addition to the $7,055, we are also using the $46,482 the commissioners gave out for revolving loan funds last year. So we're gonna use that to make up the difference we need to put in the parking.
Okay, Lisa, I'm gonna swear anyone in that wants to speak.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah, we forgot that part.
so, yeah, that's, I was like, you were on like autopilot. Okay, for anyone that is wishing to speak or comment regarding today's public hearing, I need you to raise your right hand. Is anyone gonna speak? Okay. Not seeing anyone? Okay, we'll continue on. Go ahead, Lisa.
Actually, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I'm just creating the new activity, using the leftover money from the putting in the road, to create that activity so I can do the parking.
Yeah.
Trying to spend all the money we can.
Yeah, so basically, we just paved the entranceway. Once you got back to the fields, that was still gonna be gravel, correct? So now they wanna put in
An
asphalt for ADA,
Yeah.
so that people, okay. All right, Mike, did you have any questions?
No, I thought we had completed that, but I just got my answer, so, okay.
Okay, and hearing no public comment, do I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
Motion.
I'll second.
Mike?
Roll call?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes. All right, we'll go ahead and reconvene the Board of Commissioners regular session. Thank you, Lisa, for coming in. Okay, is that HR? Are you doing HR, Michelle?
Sure, I can do HR.
I don't know, or is Tammy coming? We're a little ahead.
Yeah. Morning, Chris. Morning, Joe.
Hi.
Morning, Commissioner.
Oh, hey, Joe. I see you guys slip in. Did you guys sign in?
I did, yes.
Okay, thank you. Chris, did you sign in?
Yes, ma'am.
Look at you. I don't think he even needed help. I think he just put it on there.
She ready?
All right. Good morning, Tammy. Come on up. No, we're ahead of
I'm sorry.
schedule.
Hi, how's everyone doing?
Good.
Good, very good. So,
Do you have any comments on any of your journal entries?
no, I think everything speaks for itself. We just, I think the follow-up for the internal postings, the external postings for JFS was already kind of pre-discussed with you guys, with Kelly Jo, but I think other than that, looks pretty status quo.
Well, I have a question on number one, because we don't have the person's name added, and we normally always do. So do we know who that is, or is that a typo, I'm assuming? And being consistent with
Yeah.
what we normally do?
I probably was an oversight, so I can give you the person's name if you would prefer that.
Yeah, just whenever,
Okay.
but, yeah, or do you have it now?
Yep, I do. Her name is Bailey Evans.
Oh, Billy Evans, okay. I just wanna, Mike, can we make sure we add that in there? Authorize the hire of, and then just put Bailey Evans, an administrative assistant. All right, if you, Tammy, do you have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
in accordance with section 30530 of the Ohio Revised Code, and this board's resolution 21-0396, Part 9I. The Board of Commissioners acknowledge and approves the county administrator's approval to make a motion to authorize the hire of Bailey Evans, an administrative assistant for the Portage County Solid Waste District, effective as of Monday, May 13th, 2024.
Okay, I will second. Roll call.
Mike?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Make a motion to authorize the 7-day internal posting of the full-time water treatment operator, OIT 1, 2, and 3, for Portage County Water Resources, with external posting if no internal appointment is made.
I'll second. Roll call.
Mike?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to authorize the 3-day internal posting of a full-time JFS driver for Portage County Job and Family Services, with external posting if no internal appointment is made.
Okay, I'll second. Roll call.
Mike?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Make a motion to authorize the 3-day internal posting of the part-time social worker 3 group home for Portage County Job and Family Services, with external posting if no internal appointment is made.
I'll second. Roll call.
Mike?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Make a motion to authorize the 3-day internal posting of a full-time CSEA attorney for Portage County Job and Family Services, with external posting if no internal appointment is made.
Okay, I'll second.
Mike?
Roll call.
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to authorize to rescind the recommendation to hire a social worker 4 for Portage County Job and Family Services.
Okay. Tammy, do we know who that is?
Kathleen Klasik?
Kathleen Klasik. Okay. So, can we just add her name to the, okay, I'll second. Roll call.
Mike?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Make a motion to approve anniversary and/or step increases for the following non-bargaining employees: Dan Blakely and Joe Bodnar.
I'll second. Roll call.
Mike?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes. All right.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much,
Appreciate
Tammy.
it.
Thanks, Tammy.
All right, next we have Jackie,
Morning.
Budget and Financial. Good morning.
How are you?
Running early, talk slow.
No, don't talk slow. No, we gotta keep moving. Okay.
Okay, so I have one discussion item on my agenda today. It's regarding a grant application for the sheriff's office. This is a COPS grant, and the purpose of the application is to hire 6 new deputies, 2 of which would be used as school resource officers. As far as the budget goes, it's a 5-year grant, and the first 3 years, the grant would cover $750,000. The local match that would be requested for those 3 years is $645,000 and $537. So it's almost a 50-50 between the grant and the local match. Then the final 2 years, the grant kind of goes away, and the local match has to sustain the deputies. And then I guess, so the purpose would be that at the end of the grant, the local funding would be sustaining these deputies.
So, we just did a COPS grant for them, about 2 years ago?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, do we know how that's going?
I can check into that. I'd have to look into what fund we put that into and how that's being used and what that
Yeah, 'cause
project
I'd like a
was.
little more information on the current COPS grant, because not only the sheriff, but we have a lot of people that get staffed through grant funding. And the good intention is, oh, we'll be able to sustain it afterwards, and then next thing we know, they're on our agenda because this person is doing a good job and we need them, but yet they're supposed to be able to fit that in their budget. And it's happening a lot. So I just wanna make sure that we're keeping a better eye on these, and I'm not just singling out the sheriff's department, because it's other departments as well. You know, the intention is that when we authorize them to apply for it and then we agree to the award, that they will, through attrition or through different adjustments in their budget, be able to sustain it. And especially because this one's only 50-50, I mean, that's a lot of money for 6 people. And I think we had 6 people the last time. So I would like to just table this until you can get me some information on that.
Okay.
And then maybe bring it back next week. Do we have time
And
to
Yeah,
research it a
so
little
I
bit?
looked that up, and the submission deadline is June 2nd, so
Okay,
they
so
do
we
have
have time.
time to,
Yeah.
to submit the application. I've also, tried to request that the sheriff's office come in and sort of discuss what
Okay.
maybe their local share and
Okay,
sustainability plan is.
that would be
They
good.
just didn't have
Okay.
time this week.
Yeah,
so.
they didn't have time, and if I may, any time for safety forces that you could get a 50-50 grant, I'm in, because of the cost factor. And if you look back, before my time, when, the board then okayed 6 deputies, quite frankly, I'm not even sure those were even filled.
Well,
The problem that
yeah.
we're having,
Yeah.
and it's happening nationwide, is retention. And not only retention, but hiring. They're just not out there.
Yeah.
We just lost a deputy last week to another county city department. A lot of them are putting on a $10,000, $20,000 signing bonus. And if you get somebody under the age of 30 who's not married and loves the job, they're going to sign and go. And I'm not a big fan of anything like that. If I'm looking for incentives to bring them here, and it's not cash. It would be a salary incentive, but it wouldn't be, here's 10 grand, come work for me for 2 years and then leave. I'm not a big fan of that. But this grant, I've read it front and back. It also has some, I don't want to say loopholes, but it does have some integrity to it, to where if the county explains the amount of calls that they have, the amount of Class 1 calls that they have, that some of this funding, the share part of ours can be assisted with. Not saying that the county is indigent and needs that, but they can help. And if we indicate that money to our other departments, I mean, like Commissioner Bennett said just a minute ago, we've got a probation department, we've got the courts, we have, and they're all doing this. And the one thing I will say is I am not concerned with being down the road and have to put somebody on the payroll that hasn't already been accounted for. So I know what you're saying, and I get it. I totally get it. However, as hard as it is for them to hire, because the right people for Portage County just aren't out there. So we can table it, we can do whatever, it's up to you, but I'm really, I'm for it. If we can get half of that fund, I'm in, because I don't know if we'll ever be able to get it again here in the next few years. So that's just my
And I'm
opinion.
interested to see what our match was on that other one as well. I just want to see how
Yeah.
that grant's
I
going.
don't think it was that high, but there was a match, but I don't remember.
Okay, I'll gather that information, and then I'll also maybe request that they come in
Request the
next
sheriff's
week.
office come in, and then they can speak to their issues, and then we can talk about how the current COPS grant's going.
Yeah,
So
they were,
that'll
they
help us.
had plans to come today, however, there were some emergencies that came up. I got a phone call late last night that they weren't able to come.
Oh, okay. Well, so it's good if we
it's-
table it, then they can come in.
Yeah, it's not that they just didn't wanna come,
Yeah.
they were backed up,
Oh,
so.
we understand. Okay. So let's try to get them here next week,
Mhm.
and
I'll do that.
Yeah,
and then
Jackie,
we
you wanna
can-
handle that?
I will.
Jeez,
What?
you ready?
I'm gonna smack you. Okay.
You all heard that?
Yeah,
All
on
right.
the record. Do you have any comments on any of your journal entries or resolutions?
No, I think, these are all pretty standard, so.
There was one on here, I think, I wanted to ask, cause I'm assuming you will be here for, that is when adult probation is coming in, funding for drug test specialized docket and bond offenders for calendar year, blah, blah, blah. Do you know anything on that? as
So
far
it's additional supplies they need for the drug testing. That's why I asked Hank to come in, because I think, you know, he has more of the intricate details of that. But, so we have a contract with Mid-American Court Services, and
Yeah,
then we
for
have
weekends and holidays
Yeah,
for the
and then
specialized
there's
dockets.
another contract for, I think, other testing supplies or equipment. Then this is in addition to that.
Yeah, because
so-
they've come in the last 2 years
talked
for
to us, yeah.
additional money, but I'm surprised that we're in May and we're already running out of money. So that's why I was just wondering,
Yeah.
because I know we upped it in their budget this year, so.
Right, and this
Okay.
is coming from the opioid funding, so,
Okay,
you know.
so we
so
can
he
take
can
it,
explain
yeah,
the
we have
details.
resources. Okay, perfect, thank you. All right,
Ready?
start.
Here we go. Wake up, Larry. Board of Commissioners authorizes Commissioner Anthony J. Belamente, President of the Board, to sign the cash reimbursement request for the amount of $39,019.42 for the EMPG fiscal year 22 G4 grant, first amendment, as presented by the Portage County Emergency Management Agency and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management and the grants coordinator with no exceptions noted. Copies of this request will be kept on file at the Emergency Management Office.
Okay, I'll second, roll call?
Mike?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Make a motion in accordance with section 305.30K of the Ohio Revised Code and this board's resolution 21-0396 and this board's resolution 21-0878. And the Board of Commissioners acknowledges and approves the county administrator's approval too. I'll make a motion to direct the auditor's office to pay and process the May 2nd, 2024 bills, ACH's payments, wires, journal vouchers, and then and nows as applicable, contingent upon the verification of the reports as presented by the Portage County Auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
I'll second, roll call?
Mike?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Make a motion to process the May 2nd, 2024 budget amendments as reviewed and recommended by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
I'll second, roll call?
Mike?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Make a motion to authorize the purchase through the State of Ohio Term Contract Schedule, STS 800925, contract index number STS 515, of 2 dump body snow and ice control truck equipment packages for use by the Portage County Engineers Department.
Okay, I'll second, roll call?
Mike?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to authorize the Portage County to apply for, accept, and enter into a water pollution control loan fund, WPCLF, agreement with Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, Ohio EPA, for the design and construction of a sanitary sewer system and design of a dedicated repayment source for the loan for project number RV-017-080 Chin Sewer Regional Sewer Improvements in the Portage County Sewer District, Ravenna Township.
Okay, I'll second, roll call?
Mike?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Make a motion to submit a pre-application to District 7 of the Ohio Public Works Commission for round 39 grant funding for 2025 sewer maintenance project in Franklin Township in Portage County for the Portage County Water Resources Department.
I'll second, roll call?
Mike?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to authorize the Portage County Engineer to execute local public agency, LPA, agreement number 40073, PID number 119000 with the Director of the Ohio Department of Transportation for the project known as the replacement of Pioneer Trail Bridge over Aurora branch of the Chagrin River in the city of Aurora, Portage County, Ohio.
Okay, I'll second. Roll call.
Mike,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to authorize the application to the Ohio Attorney General's Office for fiscal year 2024 and 2025 Law Enforcement Diversion Drug Abuse Response Team, better known as DART, grant program on behalf of the Portage County Sheriff.
Okay, I'll second. Roll call.
Mike,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Make a motion, create a debt fund, 5513 PCW Rivermore HTP emergency generator for OWDA loan repayment for the Portage County Water Resources Department.
I'll second. Roll call.
Mike,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Make a motion to declare obsolete and authorize the trade-in of one vehicle from the Portage County Sheriff's Department and declare it necessity to lease one vehicle for use by the Portage County Sheriff.
I'll second. Roll call.
Mike,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes. Okay, next.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks, Jackie.
All right, Mr. Joe, you are up.
I don't know why you guys need snow and removal trucks, ice. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Don't you have a shovel, Larry?
Yeah.
Well, that's all you need, snow blower.
They got new electric snow blowers.
What's wrong with that?
Oh.
The cord not long enough?
No.
Morning, Joe.
Aren't they better?
Good morning, Commissioner.
Hi.
Morning, Commissioners, Administrator, staff. Just to identify myself, Joe Bodnar, Director, Building Official, Portage County Building Department. I am here today to request a resolution to enter into agreement for backup master plans examiner services on an as-needed basis. As you are aware, our master plans examiner, part-time, is under FMLA, and we will be in need of having some bolstering in that activity. We've already had the contract looked at by legal. I've already noted that Mr. Ross is on FMLA, and we actually do have a budget line item for contracted services. So we've got that accommodated without the need to go ahead and request additional funding.
Yeah, that was my question, and how often do you use them?
Well, Mr. Ross was here and is here on a regular basis, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, for 8 hours during the day. And with him being gone at this point, we've got a gap right now for that. And we want to make sure we can turn those projects around properly. That's on the commercial side. We've got another plans reviewer that does the residential stuff, but this is on the commercial side at the master plans examiner's level.
Does Randy do the one for residential?
He does residential.
Yeah, that's what I thought, 'cause
Yes.
he doesn't license for commercial.
Hmm.
Okay. So how many hours, or does it depend on the project?
It's
Is he
on it as needed, yep,
Okay.
as needed, so that we could get, because right now we are experiencing a slight backlog because of that gap right now, so we
Yeah.
wanna make sure we can kinda keep that current with the load that we have, the turnaround time, and potentially some projected project lengths for schedules. We wanna try to accommodate construction schedules as best we can as it relates to how the code sets and or stands relative to either partials, conditionals, or full plan approvals.
So what you're saying is you can handle it with this person and you have the funds to do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. The only comment I'll make is, Charles used to be our director, and I just wanna make sure that, that we see the forest, because we can't see the forest before the trees. So my point is, I don't want any delays or over analyzing and stuff that could cause any delays.
Sure.
Because that was an issue in the past with this specific person. And so I just want to make sure he is, stays on task and he's doing what you need him to do.
Understood, and just so everybody knows, we have already proactively accessed him into the OpenGov platform. So we've given him permission by the department to get in at access to the files at this point. So aside from not actually having this in place yet, we've already taken steps to get that immediately available to him.
Yeah, because, like I said, I just don't want, people have to come back multiple times because we're
Well, if you're
missing
not good,
something.
we can research.
Well, is
we
there
don't have to do
anyone
this.
else that you checked with?
At this point, no, because he was readily available, and
Which might
he-
not be a good sign.
Yeah, there might
But-
be a reason for that.
Well, the other, well, and I say that because, one, he's already had experience in the department. He has the capabilities, he has access through OpenGov, that platform already, in another jurisdiction. So he's familiar with working in that platform in lieu of somebody who isn't on that. And the current,
Yeah.
after January 22nd, we had to jump to the cloud-based licensing.
Well, I just don't want more work for you. I mean, it's supposed to be there to help, but we get calls,
Sure.
and so I just.
I'm
wanna
good
throw
going
that out.
another week, and tabling this till next week if you want to talk
Yeah.
and research, 'cause
Well, like I said, I know the issues we had, and so, again, I just wanna make sure if you're comfortable with him, but I don't want it to make more work for you because you don't have it, because we're looking at, and was too black and white with him. There
Okay.
was no in between, no flexibility, and it caused an issue with us. And that's why
If
he's
I'm-
not the director.
If I may, and please tell me if you want me to just.
He's very
be
good
quiet.
on code.
So his job is to actually do the review, and then, as
Yeah.
me as the building official, he will make that recommendation to me, at which time I am the one who basically accepts the black and white line of that, or I, as the building official, have that flexibility, because that's a recommendation to me of his plan review. So that responsibility, issuing said advanced permits, falls upon me as the director and the building official, not him. So he's, as an examiner, is a different level of activity
Okay.
at this point.
And he doesn't have contact with the public, is that correct?
He had, in terms of this jurisdiction,
Yeah, as far as the master plan examiner, he just does the review.
he just does the review.
Okay, but he's not like reaching out to
Nope.
Diego or.
If he has a comment, he will actually turn to me as a director. I then pick up that mantle at that point, get that one-on-one conversation going, figure out what levels of either approval is being requested or advanced at that point, because the project I believe that you're referring to when you happen to mention Vega, and I don't wanna get too far down the road with that at this point. They have permits at this point.
Yeah.
But they wanna get additional permits, and ultimately, our goal is to get them to a full as quick as possible.
Okay. Well, like I said, we'll give it a try, but when I start getting calls, it's done, because I'm just saying, I think it's great that he's available, but it's not to make more work for me, other commissioners, to start getting complaint calls and make more work for you,
Sure.
so.
You don't wanna wait? Give it another week?
Have you checked with anyone else besides him?
We have not, because of his familiar with the OpenGov. Since the project came in
Yeah,
OpenGov.
see, that's problematic for me. I think we should wait a week.
I'll make a motion that we table this till next Thursday.
Okay, good. All right, we're gonna table it.
Can you second?
I'll second. A roll
Frank?
call.
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
I feel better that way,
Yeah.
getting the vibes from, let's just look into it. Try not to slow you down, and I appreciate what you guys are doing, but, let's look into this a little further.
Yeah. We want, yeah, we're trying to help you with this, so.
There goes my birthday present.
All right. All right. All right, well, thanks, Joe.
Okay.
Let it come back next week and report back to us to see, who else is also available.
All right.
Yes. All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay, I think at this point in time, you wanna read the executive session, Mike?
In accordance with the Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22G3, the Board of Commissioners move into executive session to conference with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are the subject of pending or immediate court action.
I'll second, roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
No.
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Roll call.
Morning, Judge.
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Yes.
is there any action?
No action. Okay. Okay, Michelle, can we move you to the end?
We can, and we can also table internal services because that was relative to the previous discussion, which we're tabled.
Okay. All right, so that takes us to adult probation.
Hey,
Hey, you are
you're up,
on.
bro.
Good morning, good
How are you,
morning.
man?
Good.
Oh,
Hi.
allow us to indulge you for a few minutes if you'd be so kind.
Absolutely.
You guys, know Michael Bolts?
Yes. Hi, Mr. Bowles.
Hi, how are you?
We were fortunate to steal him from the courts, and he's been a wonderful addition because he has more financial knowledge than I have. We come before the board this morning, it's twofold. One is to discuss the agreement we had with the BOC, I do believe, sometime in 2023, regarding specialized dockets, purchasing equipment to test, drug test, specialized docket, mental health, and drug court. And you also agreed to pay an agency to drug test these people. So
Yes.
for the bond clients, it was 30 grand, I do believe. And for the specialized docket, it was $4,800 just for the vendor to provide the service. In the agreement, it states that you will pay for the service and also pay for drug testing supplies.
Yep.
And then we contacted Jackie to see how we go about doing that, but she was reading the agreement a little bit differently. So I just wanted to refresh the board's mind about that there. So we're asking if you will allow us to purchase those drug testing supplies.
Now, Jackie, because each year you come back to us, it seems like, for the supplies, and I understand that. But we had bumped up your budget this year for supplies. So you're saying at this point in time, you are running out of funds for those supplies and you need additional funding for that?
Well, I'm saying I thought it was already included in the agreement that the board agreed on in 2023. That was with Max,
Yeah.
Sabrina.
Yeah.
But the agreement
remember.
says $48,000 for the vendor to provide the service of testing,
Okay, yeah.
and an additional amount, which is not listed in that agreement, additional amount to purchase the supplies. This machine, this apparatus, I believe it's a you know what it is? It's a mouth device that they use on the offenders. They blow into this Satoxa machine, and it'll test for, I believe, 10 substances. And,
Okay.
and the product is quite expensive. It's different than what the cups we use. We use dip cups, 10 panel and 16 panel dip cups. These tests are expensive, and you use it's called a Satoxa machine. And the apparatus goes onto the machine. Yeah.
Blowing it for like 20 seconds, turns blue. That's when the results are ready to be read.
Okay. So you're saying that the supplies you're speaking of is this apparatus that you need
Yeah, yes,
purchased?
yes, ma'am. And I think the invoice that we sent to Jackie, I believe, was, I don't know, refresh
It's
my
about
memory.
$6,800, $7,000.
And that would get us through the balance of the year. Now, the board agreed to, finance this for 3 years, agreed to pay for it for 3 years. So we're in year 2 now. So after 2025, the end of 2025,
Where's $7,000 gonna take us, Hank?
pardon me,
Where's $7,000 gonna take us?
till the end of the year.
See,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So
even
s-
see why we're talking about this. It just needs to happen.
Yeah, because, and that's what I wanted to verify, because from what I'm hearing is this apparatus versus using the cups will actually save us money in some sense. Jackie, do you have any comments on that?
So I think just the issue is just we need to encumber additional funds. So probably, next year, we probably just need to look at the contract differently and how we
Yeah,
encumber encumber
Yeah,
it.
we want to get you through the
Yeah,
year.
cause I would have
that's it.
thought for what we were paying them that they would have provided the supplies.
Yeah.
That was not clear in the contract?
No.
Not in the amount,
Yeah.
I don't think, we didn't encumber the amount to cover that.
Oh,
If I can interject, the 30,000 covers the cups, which are much cheaper than this mouthpiece that goes on the Setoxa. So the one agreement with Max is for bond offenders. The judges send, and
Yeah.
Lewis send them to jail, they give them a PR bond and they require them to do a random screens through Max.
Okay.
They're providing the cups, meaning Max, because
Max.
you gave them $30,000, they're providing the cups to administer the test. But the Setoxa, we have to order those.
oh,
So we need to encumber, probably 7,000 more.
okay.
And I think that was out of the opioid fund. if I'm
Well,
not
I was gonna
mistaken.
say, we could take that most likely out of the opioid fund,
Yeah,
correct?
it can be covered by the opioid.
And then also we have that One Ohio money that we have 25,000 of that encumbered for Hopetown. And then the first year we used it to upgrade things like bathrooms,
Oh, yeah.
touchless,
Yeah, we're so, yeah.
faucets and stuff. So that's another option
Mhm.
that we can
Yeah,
look at.
so there's
Okay,
3 different tranches of opioid
Yeah.
funding.
okay.
I'm good getting your money.
Thank you very
Yeah.
kindly.
You're
Thank you
good.
very kindly.
All right.
Now, the second one, and again,
Uh-oh,
I
there's
know,
more.
I apologize.
Hank,
Yeah, I know. Get out while I'm ahead, right? The last one is, you guys graciously allowed us to jump onto the county's compensation management system. We had to crunch some numbers to make this happen. I've been working diligently with Tammy and Jackie, and the cost of that to get us through this year is $30,000. That would be to retro it and take us to the end of the year. And we have several funds that we'll be using, but this is the amount that will impact the general fund. Michael and I were able to look at our budget. There's some monies within our budgets to pay for that amount. But again, it won't be able to sustain it past 2024. So that amount will have to go on to 2025 general fund when we get around to doing it.
So basically, they have gone on to the plan for
Schedule
the
plan,
compensation,
yeah.
yeah, and so with that, then we would automatically include that and, correct, for next year's
In the next
budget,
year's
we would have to, okay.
Yeah.
And so, and you're telling us now you would need, well, you need 30,000, but you think you have it in your budget for the,
Some of it.
okay?
He's got a
Talk
couple
to us.
thousand laying
You
around.
gotta break it down.
I know, yeah. We're gonna rob Peter to pay Paul. I know you guys know how that is. We do have some money. We're gonna have a tight budget to get us through the balance of this year. I don't know if we could split that amount, or maybe the board pays a third of that amount, or.
Well, we did an analysis, I think it might, by the time we get to the end of the year, I think it might come out in the wash, I think. We can find it within the budget. And if not, it's a kind of a minimal amount that, we can supplement, but I don't know that we'll need to after looking at the entire adult probation budget.
You don't think, okay, but if they do need funding,
It looks like it might be like $5,000, so.
Oh.
Yeah. I would just
Yeah.
recommend that take care of business, and if it looks like there's going to be some kind of issue,
yeah,
bring
and
it
thank you
back.
for coming on to the plan, 'cause that
Yeah,
really
thank you.
helps
I
us
think
with
it,
planning.
yeah, it benefits us as well. I mean, it's not every year we get an increase. I mean, last year you guys were gracious enough to give us, bring us up to where we need to be. You started with a paltry wage of $17 an hour for people who have to have a college degree to be a probation officer, and you guys were able to get it up to somewhat of a living wage, and we appreciate that.
Well, next time you come in, start with the 30,000.
Any other questions you want to ask Michael or myself?
No.
No,
I appreciate your
no,
time.
but
Yeah.
we'll get you through it.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you very kindly. All right,
Alright.
on to the
Thank
next
you.
one.
Thanks for coming in.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, very good. next, is this our, Judge Smith and Guardianship Service Board.
The Honorable, all rise.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good morning,
Morning, Judge.
Commissioner Tinlin and Commissioner Bennett. Happy birthday, Tony.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm here just to introduce everyone so that you guys know who everyone is. And this is Diana Clark. She's our Executive Director of the Guardianship Services Board. This is Amy Papish. She is the Probate Courts Board member who essentially runs the GSB. Amy is an attorney who has practiced throughout the state of Ohio, Elk and Elk, and I like to say their probate division, although I don't think that's what they call it, but essentially does everything that we do in my probate court. So Amy is very well experienced, and frankly, she will blush at this, but I know most of the probate judges in the court in the state of Ohio have gone to Amy for advice and information, and she helps train us. So she is very experienced, which is why I was super excited when she agreed to be the probate courts board member for this. We also have Candy Burbick, who is the
Hi.
developmental disabilities board member, and we have Marie Nobles here and Chrissy West are the other board members. So there's 3 board members. There's DD, mental health, and the probate court. Mental health is John Garrity. He was ill this morning, so said he could not make it and apologized. So Diana, we got super lucky when we found Diana. She's actually was working in the probate courts out in Arizona, essentially establishing guardianship services.
And she came back here.
Wait,
What
it's
is
better.
wrong with you?
I'm gonna tell you, it's even worse. She came here to visit during COVID and decided she loved Ohio. And built a house here, right up the
What?
street from
Yeah.
my juvenile court. I know, right? So,
Exactly.
we are so
here to
blessed.
stay now.
All
She's
right.
here to stay, she built a house. So we're super blessed. And as you guys know, when I first came in onto the bench in 2021, one of the first things I noticed in my probate court was that we really didn't have a process for finding guardians for our wards in Portage County. And they were doing what they'd always done, which is we had a court investigator, would get the referrals, she had a stack of 100 files on her desk, and absolutely no way of finding guardians for these most vulnerable citizens in our community. So, I went to my seminars, my judge seminars, and heard about the Guardianship Services Board statute that allowed us to establish this. And so I got the community partners on board, I got Board of DD, mental health, and Diana's gonna go through all that with her PowerPoint that explains all the fabulous things that they have done in the last year, and it's been amazing. We are now serving over 40 wards in 1 year's time, which is incredible. And I'm gonna say this, even though I know we're being recorded, this is a personal thing for me. My son is 27 and he's disabled, and my husband is his guardian, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to be probate judge, is because I knew that these services were lacking. And I wake up in the middle of the night wondering who's gonna take care of my son when we're not here, or when we're no longer able to care for him. And so I wanted to implement some change in this county that would be forward-thinking change. I believe we are the 7th Guardianship Services Board in the state. So with that, I'm gonna give you Diana and Amy, and if you have any questions, we also have some other community partners here, so thank you.
Thank you, Judge, I appreciate that. Good morning, Commissioners, Administrator, and staff. Thank you very much for allowing me to come here today. As the judge mentioned, I'm Diana Clark. I'm the Executive Director of the Portage County Guardianship Service Board, and we're really happy to be able to be here and explain a little bit about what's going on the past 12 months, our first year of operation. So, hang on a second. There we go. So, yes, please. Thank you. Great. So in terms of what the Portage Guardianship Service Board actually does, we act as the county's public guardian, and we provide guardianship services for those incapacitated adults when there is no one else who is willing or able to serve. So they don't have any family members, they don't have any friends, there's no agencies that'll step up. And that's why these applications were piling up at the probate court, because the judge couldn't find any attorneys to step in and take on that role. So we visit Portage County's public guardianship wards to make sure that their quality of care and well-being is maintained. We also recruit and train volunteers so that they will also help us go out and visit our wards where they're living, group homes or residential placements. Now, the guardianship service boards are relatively new to Ohio, like the judge mentioned. The first one formed in Franklin County in 2014. And the judge there decided to change the model for how they were doing public guardianships. Before that, they were relying on a small group of attorneys that they would appoint to play that public guardianship role. But then they ran into some problems with that, so they decided to create an agency to become the public guardian, and then social workers within that agency would fulfill that public guardianship role. Well, this worked so well that 5 years later, in 2019, the Ohio legislature adopted a statute that allowed any county in Ohio to make its own guardianship service board if they wanted to adopt that model for their county. And so the purpose of the public guardianship then would be to serve as the guardian when there was no one else willing or able to do it. Currently, there are 6 active GSBs that serve Franklin, Allen, Lucas, Delaware, Fairfield, and Portage counties. This year, there's another new GSB that's being formed that's going to serve 3 counties, Hancock, Wood, and Ottawa. And then Union County is also starting its own GSB this year. So Judge Patricia Smith led the effort in 2021 and 2022 to form a GSB in Portage County. And at that time, the problems were fewer local attorneys were willing to serve as public guardian. The wait times to act on public guardianship referral applications had increased. And the problem with that was delays in appointing a public guardian put vulnerable adults at risk of harm. So some of these applications had been pending for a year before the Guardianship Service Board was formed. And several of these were adult protective service clients who needed a guardian, and none was available to be appointed. One prospective board actually died during the year that she was waiting to have a guardianship appointed for her. And so this was something that the judge was determined to remedy. In 2023, Judge Smith started working with John Garrity of Mental Health Recovery Board and John Benetti of Portage DD to form our Guardianship Service Board. Both Mental Health and Portage DD provided the initial funding that allowed my position to be hired, and so we could start operations. The Probate Court, Mental Health Recovery Board, and DD each selected their own person to serve on the new board of directors. And I was hired to be the executive director a year ago in April of 2023. So we only had our first board meeting a year ago, and by the end of June of 2023, we were already filing guardianship applications. And based on that, we were able to clear up the backlog of courts pending applications within a couple of months. So the board of directors includes attorney Amy Papish, who's our board president. She represents the probate court on this board. John Garrity is the executive director, of course, of Mental Health Recovery Board. He serves as our board's vice president and represents Mental Health Recovery Board on our board. And Candy Burbick, who's also here, is our board member who represents Portage DD. Amy Papish is here with me today and is happy to answer any questions that you may have about the board or our operations. And Amy, if you want to share anything at this time.
I would just like to say it's been an absolute honor to serve on this board over the last year as one of the lawyers that the court would call when they didn't have anybody to fill this spot. There's less and less of us that are now available to take these appointments. So I was so excited to hear that the judge was going to put something like this in place, because it really is a great service that we're able to provide to these vulnerable individuals in our community. And you'll see that they've just been so well served over the last year, and I'm so excited to see where we're going in the future. But it's been a true pleasure to serve on this board.
Well, we're glad to have you. I'd like to intervene.
Yes, sir.
With your comment. As most of you know, between 1976 and 1983, I was with the sheriff's office. When I left there, I was chief of detectives, and I went on a lot of calls where it was a mom and a son or a mom and a daughter, and mom would go to the hospital, and what do you do? And they went on and on and on. And the thing, one time that hit me that said, you need to do something was an incident in Franklin Township where Kent Fire went and took in Mom to the hospital, and Mom kept speaking this name over and over. And Kent Fire called and said, "There's something going on at that house, you should probably go look." So I went to the house, and there was a gentleman in his 60s, probably 80 pounds or so, in the nude, chained to a bed, being fed candy bars, and a couple neighbors even knew about it, and they would feed him his Milky Ways when nobody was around. So I went to the judge at the time, and I said, "I'm gonna take guardianship of this gentleman, and we're getting him taken care of." And we did, and he ended up at Apple Creek, not that I was happy, but we had a facility to take him to. And after that incident, I took on guardian ad litem for 5 different people, simply because we were in that scenario, but nothing ever happened. It was, let's deal with this situation. So I'm with you. Love you, Judge, for doing what you're doing, because I've been in it. And when you're standing there with someone on an ambulance cot who's been cleared from the hospital, and it's like, okay, now what? It's a bad feeling. And I appreciate you, every one of you, for what you're doing. So just wanted to add that to your comments.
Thank you, Commissioner.
So
Appreciate that.
carry on.
Well, as I mentioned, public guardianships are those where the court has to appoint a local attorney or the Guardianship Service Board to serve as guardian, because there's no one else is able to step in and do that. Right now, Portage County has 587 total adult guardianships. Of that, 71 are what we consider public guardianships, or about 12%. And since 2023, we have received 43 referral applications requesting that a guardian be appointed. And to date, we've been appointed as guardian for 37 wards. I know that says 35, but we got appointed in 2 other cases this week.
Wow.
So now we're serving 37 wards, and we have another 3 hearings coming up to have us appointed as guardian for 3 new adult wards.
Diane, just to reiterate, so the wards, when you're talking about the wards, those are the folks that need the guardianship,
They've been
correct? Okay.
declared incompetent, that's
Okay.
correct. And they're wards of the court, so that's why that term
That's
is
kind of
used.
the ward, yeah.
And if
Right.
I may, they range in age from 18
I know, I
to
saw
100,
that.
so.
So right now, we've got 2 referral applications that we haven't filed guardianship applications on yet, but, you know, they're also in our mix. So public guardianship wards, just so you know, and I'm sure you appreciate this, Commissioner, are some of the most challenging guardianship cases that we have. 65% have a mental illness diagnosis, either as the primary or a contributing cause of their impairment. 35% have dementia, either as the primary or contributing cause of their mental impairment. And 36% are diagnosed with developmental disabilities. These are just a few of our community partners. In your packet, I gave you 12 support letters that we had from our community partners, some of which are here today. We have Christina West from Portage DD, who we've worked closely with. We also have Anne Marie Noble, Executive Director of Haven Homeless Shelter, that we've been working very closely with, so we're very grateful for their participation and community support. But these community partners not only refer applications to us, but then they also help us to provide the necessary services for these clients. So in the 12 months we've been operating, we're very gratified that we've established such a large network of community partners, and we all work together and collaborate. So we know who to call, and they know who to call when these situations arise. And that's the best way for any county to solve its problems, is having all of its community partners working together. This slide shows you who we've been receiving referral applications from. When we get referrals from the probate court, that usually results from attorneys or family members saying they don't want to serve as guardian anymore and they're resigning, or when the court removes a guardian because they've been failing to fulfill their duties. Referrals from Adult Protective Services usually involve adults that have been diagnosed with dementia and they're living in dangerous conditions in their homes. We get referrals from Coleman, from their clients who are mental health clients, but they lack the capacity to make decisions or to manage their activities of daily living. And so someone like us needs to step in and help apply for benefits, help find residential placements, so that they can be better managed. And then we also get referrals from nursing homes, and this arises when medical providers in those nursing homes determine that their residents have now become mentally incompetent and they need a guardian to help manage their care. Because they reach a point where they can't file the applications to renew their benefits, or they can't make decisions about their health care, and so that's why a legal guardian is needed to help them out. So public guardianships are needed for these at-risk adults to help safeguard them from dangerous living conditions, and that includes unsafe, hazardous, or unhealthy home situations, deteriorating mental health conditions, mostly medication noncompliance, suffering from delusions, irrational behaviors, paranoia. And then we also want to reduce criminal justice involvement, because we have people that get arrested for trespassing, shoplifting, minor altercations with members of the public, or people that suffer from progressive dementia that causes self-neglect, unsafe driving, dangerous activities at home, or exploitation or physical harm. Once we get appointed as guardian, we can then step in to help improve their overall safety and living conditions. We help find stable residential placement that reduces the need for medical and mental health hospitalizations. We had one client that was placed in a mental health hospital 9 times in 8 months because they couldn't stabilize her mental health. Once we were finally able to get her into a stable residential care facility, she had her medical and her mental health issues met, and she hasn't been hospitalized in 5 months. 9 hospitalizations in 8 months at $800 a day racked up a bill of over $100,000 just for this one client for repeated hospitalizations. We had a similar situation with a veteran who was in his home after he'd had surgery, but he couldn't maintain his health needs at home. He got taken to the emergency room and re-hospitalized 3 times before we could get him in a care facility, where then he had skilled nursing, and he hasn't been hospitalized since. So these are some of the tangible reasons why a guardian is necessary to help keep people safe and stable. So also, when we find residential placements for our wards, we're able to get them regular medical visits, regular dental services, vision and hearing examinations. With our mental health wards, we help to put them in group homes or residential facilities, which creates much greater medication compliance and better compliance with their overall treatment plan. As guardian, we can also make sure that our wards get all the benefits that they're entitled to receive, because we can help sign them up for Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, housing support, because we're able to act as their advocates and legal services on their behalf. So we work to keep our clients out of the criminal justice system. We do have clients that have been involved with criminal justice charges, but we work with the public defender and the county prosecutor, and as soon as they're able to be declared incompetent for trial, we get them into services, get them into medical care, rather than sitting in jail where it doesn't do anybody any good to have them there. So in terms of how we work with our community partners, let me just explain how we help each of these types of community partners. With residential care facilities, we help them to enroll the wards in healthcare benefits, Medicaid and Social Security. With the hospitals, we help with discharge planning, and we help to arrange a suitable placement. With adult protective services, we help them move their vulnerable adult clients out of dangerous homes and into stable residential care facilities, and we safeguard them against exploitation, neglect, and abuse. And again, with Coleman, we help their client with medication compliance and stable housing placements. As for Portage DD, we've been working with Portage DD on their wards that are turning 18, but they don't have anyone who's going to be able to step in and help care for them. So we get appointed by the probate court to become their guardian right after they turn 18, and then at that point we can enroll them in SSI or SNAP, Medicaid, find suitable residential placements, but also we help find them suitable day programs so they can maintain meaningful activities. We can get them employment opportunities, and so it's all part of helping them to achieve their greatest level of independence with the support that they deserve. So for comparison, these are 6 of the Ohio counties that have operating guardianship service boards that have been operating for over a year. By comparison, our budget is very modest, and in large part, that's because our office space is donated by Neighborhood Development Services. Our accounting services have been provided by the probate court's fiscal officer. We get HR support and parking spaces provided by Portage County. So all of these in-kind contributions have helped to reduce our cost. Like the judge mentioned, in 1 year, we have received nearly 40 guardianship appointments, more than some other guardianship service board counties have achieved in over a year of operation. So we've grown very quickly. This chart shows the source of funding for the other 6 GSB counties. Like these counties, most of our funding comes from the DD and mental health boards. We also receive funding support from Jobs and Family Services for their adult protective service clients. 3 counties also receive county funding support to help them operate, and that includes Delaware, Franklin, and Fairfield County. And in addition, Union County, that's just starting to operate this year, will also be receiving some county funding. So by the end of this month, we will have been appointed as guardian in 40 public guardianship cases. We've been averaging 4 new referrals a month. We anticipate another 20 to 30 new guardianship referrals by the end of this year, which is why additional funding support is needed so that we can provide guardianship service for this expanding population of adults in our community. But in the long run, our guardianship services not only improve ward safety and well-being, but we reduce costs of repeated hospitalizations, justice system involvements, and homelessness. This slide shows our current operating budget for 2024. As you can see, we've gotten the bulk of our funding from mental health and Board of Developmental Disabilities. But to continue our public guardianship services through 2024 and into 2025, we're requesting funding support from the county to match that's been provided by mental health and DD in the amount of $94,500 so that we can use these funds to increase our caseworker capacity to handle new referral applications and to take on new guardianship appointments in the coming months. Just to give you some perspective, Portage County currently has a population of over 162,000, of which 18.3% are residents over the age of 65, which is almost 30,000 seniors. So the expanding population of baby boomers is going to increase the need for guardianship services in the months ahead. Mental health and DD funding helps to meet the public guardianship needs of those wards that have mental health impairments or DD impairments. But a substantial number of these wards have dementia and memory issues, and we need county funding to support to help provide guardianship services for these wards as well. With the county support, we're hoping we can recruit the additional caseworkers needed to manage this increased number of public guardianship wards into 2025. Just to give you an idea, the target caseload per caseworker is 15 to 20. Currently, we have 2 caseworkers, one of which we just brought on board, which will cover the 40 public guardianship wards that we're going to be appointed to serve by the end of this month. That's why we need another caseworker to help meet this increased growth and caseload throughout the rest of this year and into next. And with this additional county funding we're requesting, if that's something that we can manage, we would be able to support the number of caseworkers needed to serve this expanding public guardianship population. So that's where we are today. Respectfully reaching out for your consideration of our funding request. We did provide a proposed resolution which County Prosecutor Chris Madurian has read and approved. He also approved the draft memorandum of understanding for the guardianship services that we presented. So at this time, we're happy to answer any questions or any additional information that you may request.
Ma'am, you had me in the first.
And can I add, is that okay?
No.
Commissioner Tillman, what you said about, when you went into that home and found that gentleman, those things are still happening. That just happened to me within the last year, where a family member could no longer take care of, and this family member had probate court guardianship of this person. And so we worked really hard together to try to get both the family member and the person served in safe places. And I don't know where these folks would be if we did not have this guardianship board to support them. I mean, this young man is flourishing now.
Right.
He's so capable now. He's living and being part of his community. He's active, and
More
he's
independent.
participating in meaningful activities in his
Yep.
community, whereas before he was sitting at home doing nothing. So we are seeing those. Also seeing, the increase in dual diagnosis, so mental health and DD, and family members not able to to be guardians for their family members because they have criminal records or they have mental health needs themselves.
Yep.
So we're seeing a lot of increase in that, so the support is absolutely needed.
And if I
Thank
may
you,
add,
Vicky.
from the probate court end of it, we have instituted an audit in our courts, so we are auditing, God, I can't say that word. We are auditing every guardianship within our court, which is part of the reason why we are making more referrals, because we are finding wards who are not being cared for. Wards whose guardians are not following the oath that they took. And so we do not want those to fall through the cracks, so we're auditing every guardianship of the 597. We're on our 18th month of audit. We're getting very close to getting through with that, and we are also starting a visitors program where we will be training and recruiting volunteers who will be going out and also checking on the wards. The other reason I wanted to start the GSB is I want wards being seen monthly. Current standards, like I don't know that there's specific guidelines that it's once a quarter
Right.
is the guideline. So for example, and I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, but APSI follows the guideline. They go see their wards once a quarter. If somebody's coming to see my son once a quarter, he's screwed. So we're our folks are seeing these people once a month so that we know what is going on. And that's some of the things that are being implemented through the probate court as well.
And some of these wards we see once a week, or we've got 2 that are on hospice care, so we see them more than once a week. So it's as needed. We try to give as much visitation support as they require. Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions?
No,
Thank you very much
I
for
had
your
read through,
time.
this was a very nice detailed packet. I don't know who put it together, but
Thank you.
Diane did an
If
awesome
I ever
job.
need a PowerPoint done, she's gonna be my person. Yeah.
She has been wonderful.
Yeah,
at
we, as a
running
board,
that
we've just been
process.
completely blessed to be able to work with her as an executive
Jackie,
director.
did you have any questions?
Not at this time.
Have we looked to see where the funding might come, or do you need more time to research that?
We have contingency right now, we have plans for that, but we can look at that and try to rearrange
See what we can
some
do?
of that, yeah.
Okay, so we'll hold on passing the resolution
Yes.
until Jackie,
Absolutely.
has time to look at our finances, and then we'll get back to you.
I see
Thank
it
you,
looking
Commissioner.
fine to me, but there are 2 others.
Yes.
But, unless you're there and you see this, and then you wonder, how many we don't know about?
Right.
Or
Right.
who is the mom that may be too proud to call? And
Right.
man, it's astronomical. It really is.
Right.
Well, and it also saves money, so
Yes.
we're saving money by not hospitalizing these people.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
By not
Oh, yeah.
having them end up in jail.
Right.
And we're great at hospitalizing over and over and over,
Right.
Yeah.
but we need to solve the
But that
problem.
doesn't solve the problem, right.
No, you're right.
No,
You're
it
right.
supports the people of Portage County. I mean, that's what we're here for, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate every one of you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Appreciate your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Now get out.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you say, Judge? I'm done with you. Get out.
Out. Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Good to
Thanks
see
for
you.
coming in.
Good to see you, sweetie.
Good to see you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. I'm gonna shake your hand too because it's good to see you. I always love to see you guys.
All right, Michelle, do you wanna go back? We have time.
Sure. To Wade, right?
Thank you.
You're
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Bye, Diane.
Okay.
You have your discussion tree removal recommendations?
That'll be real quick. So I will, you would like to take one, please, and hand one over to Commissioner Mike.
Thank you very much. You throwing stuff at me?
Nice.
Oh, okay, just asking. She's throwing stuff.
So on your map, you will see there is like an outline with, highlighted in blue for the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that real quick?
Yep, I see it.
So that property is owned by Portage County, and on April 10th, a tree fell on a house during a windstorm. So the resident called us and made us aware of this, and so he requested that we have someone come out and look at the other trees that are, potentially needed to be removed. So we contacted Weaver Tree Company of Garrettsville, and they went out, and potentially 4 to 5 trees need to be removed. It's a liability issue, so we need to do it. So I'm making you aware, in case you get any phone calls, that's why we are removing these trees.
So we didn't have to pay out anything for the tree that fell, or did we?
We did not have to pay anything
Because
out.
it's considered an act of God, so they normally, insurances won't pay for it.
So our insurance, that's correct, so our insurance company did not pay for it, this particular situation, because we did not have prior notice, and that's correct, it's an act of God. However, we now have notice, right?
So we have,
That we have some potential liability out there, and we need to take care of it, so
Yeah.
we did. And this gentleman came back and said, hey, about 4 to 5 trees need to be removed, so.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and it's a bummer when, because I had that happen to me, and the insurance was like, we're not paying. So, in continuing to be good neighbors, and especially since they brought it to our attention.
That's
I
right,
say
we wanna take care of our
really-
citizens.
And where's the funding coming for this?
So this will come out of water resources. It's a really great price, $1,250.
For how many trees?
4 to 5 trees.
Are those
Oh
the
my
same ones
gosh.
that we used for over here? Those 4 trees we took out on the bank over here?
I apologize, Commissioner, I do not know that.
Okay, that's
I do not
fine.
know that. If
It
it's the
sounds
same
like
one or
it
not.
because, the gentleman that did it was 3,000 cheaper than anyone else that we could find. So by the sound of it, it is the same.
Yeah,
And
great.
that's fine.
And they did a good
Garrettsville,
job,
Yeah,
so.
did a great job and
Good.
immediate response, so, just wanted to make you aware that we are moving forward with that. All right.
And then, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 121.22G1, the Board of Commissioners moves into executive session to consider employment of a public employee.
Second,
Roll call.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Mike,
yes.
And I keep waiting for another one. Tony. I'll make a motion, we come out of executive session.
Second?
Roll call?
Sabrina,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
All
Is there
right.
any action?
No action.
I'd like to make a motion, the Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the kennel disposition report and intake report for April 22nd, 2024 through April 28th, 24, as presented by Chief Dog Warden Dave McIntyre.
I'll second. Roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Make a motion, the Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the kennel disposition report and intake report for April 29th, 2024 through May 5th, 2024, as presented by Chief Dog Warden Dave McIntyre.
I'll second. Roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Make a motion, the Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the April 30th, 2024 amended certificates of estimate resources for the year beginning January 1st, 2024, as submitted by the Portage County Budget Commission.
I'll second. Roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners receive the tax estimates as they will appear on the 2024 certification of estimate resources as presented by the Portage County Budget Commission, reviewed by the Portage County Treasurer and Auditor.
I'll second.
Mike,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Make a motion, the Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the May 6, 2024 certificate of county auditor that the total annual appropriations from each fund do not exceed the amended official estimate of resources for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2024, as presented by the Portage County Auditor's Office.
I'll second. Roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Make a motion, the Board of Commissioners receive the April 30th, 2024 tax estimates as they will appear on the 2025 official certificate of estimate resources as presented by the Portage County Auditor's Office.
I'll second. Roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Make a motion to reappoint Hal Stam of the Portage County, to the Portage County Board of Building Appeals.
I will second. Roll call?
Mike,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes. Oh my gosh, look at us, speed reader.
Do we do good?
Do we have any public comment so far?
Not that I am aware, no.
Okay. I want to recess till 11.
Good.
we'll reconvene. Is there any public comment?
No, ma'am, there is not.
All right. Hearing no public comment, is there any other things to be brought before the board? Mike, you got anything?
I have nothing.
All right. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Thank you.